Hi Scorpio, welcome to your monthly tarot reading with me, Raphael Ray from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for all of your continued support. So let's see what the cards have in store for you over the month of March. I would like to call into both of these decks all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, your actions and your interactions with the world at large. Okay. So you have the Page of Swords. Okay, so the Page of Swords represents a few things actually. So the first thing that I always say when I see this card is there's an interview of some sort taking place. This is about something that you've already set up. This isn't, the act itself or the interview or the meeting itself takes place this month. But this is something that's been set into motion from previous. This isn't something that has just sprung out of thin air. This is something that, that has taken some time to set up, and this is the execution of it this month. This is you taking, the Page of Swords, just so you can see it. This is a job interview. This is you being reviewed for a position. This is you being reviewed to see if you have the skills, if you have the knowledge, if you have the understanding to deliver what it is that you have promised or said that you can deliver. The other thing about this is it gives you a really sharp mind. When you see the Page of Swords, it means that your mind is operating at optimum. It means that you're working hard to continually, stay at that level of thought or that level of ability, I guess, if that makes sense. But it is something that you are able to do, and it's something that you're able to do for a sustained period of time. Your mind is working at its peak, at its pinnacle. You are demonstrating the best of who you are, and more importantly, you're demonstrating some pretty powerful attributes. That's probably the best way that I can put it. The only thing that I say when I see this card, sometimes it can be think about how you say what you say. It's not necessarily going to be about the message that you deliver. It's going to be about the way that you deliver this. So what you're saying, the content may well be there. The tone of voice, the inflection, or the sequence that you put those words into. Your message is pure. But the way that you put that message across is largely governed by and important to notice your audience, who you are delivering to. It's not, the message there is whole and it's pure. It's something that you genuinely believe in, something that you're putting forward is, it's the best aspects of yourself. It's something that you've put a lot of heart and a lot of soul into, but you need to think about the audience that are going to receive what it is that you're bringing with you. Whether it's an idea, whether it's a thought form, whether it's a presentation, whether it's, in a job interview, think about who your audience is. That's going to be really important, because it may well be that your message could be lost in translation because you haven't thought about the people that you're pitching to. And, that's a real shame, because as I said, your mind has been working at optimum to get all of this into a sequence that is important. Don't get nervous. Just remember, they're not above you in any way, shape or form, but do pitch what you're pitching at the level of understanding and at the social social or even emotional intelligence of the group that you're delivering to. That's going to be important. So in your money and your materials, you got the Strength card. This is great. The Strength card with your money and your materials gives you power, it gives you strength. It means certainly in terms of your physical body, you're going to be experiencing quite a lot of vitality this month. You're going to be experiencing quite a boost in energy. You're going to be feeling physically very strong. Your money and your materials isn't just about your finances, it's also about your physical body and sometimes even your home. It just depends on the messages that come through for me, really. When I see this, especially in your money and your materials, physically you're going to be feeling very strong. You're going to be feeling quite vital, going to have lots of energy, which is great considering that the mind is working so hard at the moment. And also what this tells me in terms of your finances, this is because it's the number 8, it's finance through acquisition. Whatever finances or money are coming at you this month, it's important to remember that it's a reciprocal flow. So whatever energy or service or work it is that you're giving needs to be, you need to remember that you know you get paid for what you put in. And if you're putting in this much and you're working this hard, maybe this is the time to think about getting a raise. Maybe this is about asking, you know, especially if you're a freelancer or you do something that is specific that helps a company, or, you know, this is about you getting out as much as you put in. It's not about greed. It's not about wanting more than you deserve or anything like that. It's about being paid adequately for the amount of energy that you are expanding. If this isn't something that you feel, you know, you can offer, I kind of feel like it will come to you, something that you can ask for. I kind of feel like it will come to you anyway. It's about people seeing, you know, that you have put your best foot forward and you're gaining some kind of reward from it this month. Because as well, the Strength card represents the sign of Leo. And Leo's all about being on stage. It's all about being seen. You have been seen for all of the efforts that you've been putting in, and you're now about to start to reap some of those rewards. And in the month of March, you start to see the return for it, for all the hard work and effort that you've expanded, and, you know, as hard and as far as you've been pushing your mind, you start to get some comeback from that, which is, you know, wonderful, really. Okay. In your communications, so this is emails, text messages, conversations, it's ideas that you have as well, you know, it's all of these things rolled into one. Social media presence, you know, it could be all of that and any of that or none of it. You have the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, especially with this. Think about your target audience. Think about the people that, I almost feel like you've got this great idea, you've got this great presentation, you've got this really awesome, you know, thing that you've given birth to, that you've put together, and you're just about ready to launch it, to put it out into the world, and it's almost like there's something that holds it back, because the 5 of Pentacles is not a great card, guys. You know me by now, so I'll just tell you how it is. It represents lack. It represents, you know, being out of pocket because of an accident or something like that. I don't feel like it's that. What I feel like this is the message that you have, or the work that you have created. It will bring you money, but, you know, in one sense, but in another, the core message of what it is that you're trying to deliver, the true depth and understanding and emotional commitment that it's taken for you to get this thing up and running and created, it's almost like that bit of it is missed. And that is the vital part of it. That is the vital part of what people really need to see, that actually, you know what, you haven't just put this presentation together because you want a raise. You've done it like this, and you've put this much energy and time and care and effort into it because you genuinely care about what it is that you're doing, about what it is that you're speaking, about what it is that you're presenting. And I almost feel like it's kind of going to get lost in translation. And it's really, really important that you don't just highlight the idea itself, you highlight just how much energy and effort you've put into it, because that is what's going to show people, okay, right, that's going to connect the dots. So they'll see the message, they'll see the thing that you're delivering, but then they'll see the amount of love and care and nurturing and attention that you've put into it as well. Don't let what you do be overshadowed by anything but by anything. Actually, don't let what you do and how much it's taken for you to get this thing started, don't let that be overshadowed by anything. The idea itself is already pure, it's already great. And then finally, in your heart and your heart and your hearth, interesting, you get the Page of Cups. Okay, so the Page of Cups talks about artistic and creative endeavors, but it also talks about having an emotionally it also talks about having an emotional stillness. It talks about having that space within yourself to acknowledge how you feel. Now, for those of you that are partnered, because this is your heart and your half, so it's your relationships, it could be your, significant other, or it could also be your family and your friends. For those of you that are in established bonds, this talks very much about you examining your relationship and, asking yourself the fundamental question, am I getting from this what I put in? Am I emotionally fulfilled? Do I feel like I'm getting the nourishment and the nurturing from this relationship that I'm putting in? And it's about listening to the answer that comes back. If it's yes, then great. If it's no, acknowledge that and really think hard about what that means. How can you either better that situation going forward, or are you prepared to stay in that situation? For those of you that are single, this is asking you to get very clear on what it is that you want and what it is that you need. And it's also asking you to get creative. It's asking you to really start thinking about what is love to you? How do you perceive love? Do you feel like you're even worthy of love? Do you love yourself? Do you love anyone? These are the big things that come up when you see the Page of Cups. It's a very youthful energy, and it's got almost like a little naivety about it when you see it in that respect. But when you're talking about partnerships, when you're talking about relationships, it asks you to really observe how you actually feel. Unfiltered, unfettered, just like kids, when they feel something, they feel it 100%. A baby doesn't sit there and analyze its feelings and say, well, I feel sad, so maybe I should cry. They just wail and scream until they get what they want. I'm hurt, I'm upset, I want this is what I need. Wah! And they let it all out. They don't hold anything back. They don't analyze it, and this is what you're being asked to do, just to actually feel, to acknowledge what you feel, to pay attention to what you feel and let yourself really feel it. In terms of family, and in terms of, friends, this is asking you to get creative. It's asking you to interact with people of a creative nature. Go to art galleries together, sit and draw together, paint together, listen to different types of music, read books, look at art. Go out into nature, connect to things that open you up to a brand new era of creativity, and do that with other people. Okay, so finally, your key to the month. What is your key to the month? Oh, one card is already decided to let itself out. The Empress. Interesting, because the sign before yours got this as well. So the Empress talks about creating an environment that is conducive to the birth of what it is that you want. The Empress is a pregnant woman, a pregnant mother, who creates fertility. She exudes fertility. She's all things lush and fertile. And she's about creating an environment of fertility around you. And fertility doesn't necessarily just mean about bringing children into the world. Sometimes fertility represents abundance. It represents the ability to create, to conceive, to perceive, what is beautiful. It's about surrounding yourself, especially with the Page of Cups here. This is about surrounding yourself with beautiful things that are going to inspire you, things that are going to inspire you to think in different ways, things that are going to inspire you to really get in touch with what and how you actually feel about something, about someone. It's an interesting month for you guys. I don't see it as being, you know, one of, I don't see it being a bad month. I do see it being one of much learning though. You'll learn a lot this month about what really makes people tick. And more importantly, I think it's about you standing up for just what it is that you bring to the world and being really honest about that and making people see, actually, you know what, I am valuable and here is why. Scorpio, I wish you all the best of abundance, love, peace, light. I hope you have a great month. For those of you that want to reach me, you can do so on the links below. For those of you that have, and those of you that that choose to, thank you so much for all of your donations and your comments, your likes, your shares, subscribes. It means the absolute world and I am truly grateful for it. Take care, have a good month, and I will see you soon.